Hey guys. So I look a little gross right now. I mean, like I look gross all the time, but like right now I look grosser. Um, and this is a story time. Um, of what happened to me on Saturday, which what's today? Monday. It's today 10th, so it's probably on the 8th. Well, if today's the 10th, then March 8th, I was in a car accident, which thankfully, I'm alive, because I am not supposed to be right now. So yeah, let's talk about that. I'm not gonna edit this video, one, because it's just like, I still want to, and because normally I would edit out what I just did. I just took a drink, because it doesn't really look appealing. It doesn't sound appealing, but you know, what happens, and you should see what happens when you don't wear your seatbelt. So I was with my boyfriend Robert at my house because we were having steak. No, that was yesterday. Okay. Anyways, Robert was at my house on Saturday, March 8th, 2019. And we were hanging out, and his cousin called us and asked if we wanted to go to River Rock. And we were like, no, we don't really want to go all the way out there. Is there anyone else who want to go? And then Robert suggested GT Bray, which is like right down the road from my house. So we did that. His cousin's mom and his cousin came to pick us up, and we went to GT Bray. And then, sorry, it hurt my back. And then his Aunt Melissa called to see if they wanted to come over to help fix her Wi-Fi and stuff, and see if they wanted to hang out. And so we all went over there to his Aunt Melissa's house. But my mom told me that I had to be home by 9. So it was like 8:50. And we were waiting for his grandpa to show up, and he got there around 9. And we were driving. He picked me and Robert up from his aunt's house, and we were going home. I think it was off of 53rd by Winn-Dixie. It's like the roundabout. Yeah, but so we were going down there, taking us home. You know, Robert was really tired, so he was laying in my lap and he was asleep. His grandpa was in the front seat driving, and his other cousin, not the one that called to hang out with us, but his other girl cousin, Jasmine, she's pregnant, and she was in the front seat too. She was not driving. I was on her side in the back seat, and Robert was laying down, and his head was on my legs. And it was like a casual drive, like we were just going home, didn't realize it. I got everyone's perspective except for his grandpa's. So I'll tell you those. But first I'm going to tell you how it happened, and then I'll say it from everyone's perspective. So we were driving, and Jesus Christ, a car hit a motorcycle, and their bumper came off and hit his grandpa's front wheel, and so he swerved because he lost control, and he was trying to get control of the car, so he was swerving, and we ended up, after the first swerve, like he did that, after that we ended up flying, and we landed on the ground and rolled the car 4 times. So we were from a stoplight until about like 3 cars, maybe 4 cars, from a stoplight to the space we were at. I'm trying to explain how big the space was. But we rolled. It maybe have been more than 4. But we rolled like pretty far. Luckily we landed on our tires and didn't land upside down or sideways. So I got out with some scratches, which I'm gonna show as I talk about them. So obviously the first one is my lip. For those of you who know me, I suck my thumb sometimes, like when I'm tired or whatever, because like I'm a child. And when we were driving and we went, I was sucking my thumb, and it like hit my lip against my crooked teeth. And so my lip is busted on this side on the top. I would show you, but it's like really gross. There's dry blood around my lip that I still haven't gotten yet. I know, it sounds disgusting. I feel like there's a scratch on my head, but there is like a little, like a soft spot, like around this area, like right here. My head was hurting that night and yesterday for a while. Now my head only hurts a little bit depending on like my movements. So that's this area. Oh, I also have a scratch on my face. It's like right here, but like it's really small and like you can't really see it. It's probably from the glass. Try and show it. Hey. So yeah, it's my lip. And then I have a scratch on my face right there. It's really small and like you can't really tell that it's there, but it is. And I also have a scratch on my shoulder. And my shoulder is like really sore and kind of bruised in the back. So there's that. It looks a lot different in person. It hurts to lift up my arm or like move it really, but you know I do it anyways because I'm a savage. I have a cut on my hand, right there on my knuckle, and on my palm. I have a dot these are from glass right here, so that's from glass, that's from glass, that's from glass. My side of the car was the worst side of the car. The left side literally looked like it was like untouched, and the right side was completely like gone and like dented. Yeah. And then I have a scratch on the back of my right thigh. And then I have a really bad scrape, which actually I haven't looked at it yet since it was yesterday. I have a scrape on my left shin. And it's bruised and swollen around it. I'm gonna show it, so if you don't want to see it, then we can skip over this part. So yeah. So that's my leg. It's bruised around that area. It was swollen, like it was not that part, that's just because it's on the chair. But this was swollen like up to like here. But I guess the swelling went down. So yeah, that's my leg. Some skin on my knee came off. Yeah, so there's that. It's hard to move my legs, like when I walk, it like hurts to bend my knee for some reason, even though it's like, even though it's not really like a knee type thing. And then that's all like the scratches and like things that like broke my skin. But what hurts right now the most, yesterday it was my leg. Right now it's my lip and my back, and like kind of like the back of my ribs. So like, it hurts to like move. Okay. So like my sides and the back hurt really bad, like they're really sore. And if I like stretch or like if I move or like turn a certain amount, it hurts. It's really sore. This is 3 days since the accident. Today's Monday and it happened on Saturday. So it'd be like 3 days. If you don't count the day of the accident, then it's 2. But my backsides weren't sore yesterday. It was kind of just like my leg and my head. So since everything was kind of like hurting a lot more today, when my mom gets off work, going to the hospital, so I will keep you guys updated on that on my Snapchat story. Just because it's easier to post on there. So I'll have that in the description below if you want to check that out. Anyways, So that was me. And then his cousin, she got a bruise, kind of like and it's sore for her too, on her right shoulder, so like this area, and like a little bit over by her collarbone. The baby's fine. She's pregnant. She's 5 months pregnant. The baby's fine and she's okay. She was just really shaken up. And she got hurt here, like in this area. I think that was either when we rolled, because me and her were on the bad side, where we rolled, and I think it like hit the ground, so that's for her shoulder, or it was her seatbelt. I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. Me and Robert were in the back seat, and we weren't wearing our seatbelts. And then his grandpa, like sprained his neck, so he has like a neck brace, or like whiplash or something. And a chunk of his elbow completely like was out, and he was like gushing out blood, because he's on blood thinners. And then Robert, since he was laying on my lap, he was asleep. I guess now is a point where I'm gonna talk about perspectives. Okay, first I'll talk about his injuries. He has a cut on his head right here for him. So it's a little scrape. And he has also kind of a similar scrape to me on my leg, except his wasn't swollen. Or like, I don't know if it's bruising today, but it wasn't bruised yesterday. His back hurts. I think his whole body is sore, but I'm fixing to tell that part in a second. So, from my perspective, I was looking out the window and I was sucking my thumb because I was tired too. And I was looking out the window and I wasn't really paying attention to anything. I was kind of like in a daze, like I was kind of in my own head. And all I felt was a swerve and then just him screaming, his cousin crying, and his grandpa saying calm down, just while we were rolling. And so that kind of just came out of nowhere for me. I had it from perspectives, I had it like the least worst of all of them. I think Robert had it the worst, because he was asleep and he woke up screaming. Like he woke up to the car rolling. And his body, he flew up whenever the car rolled, and he flew up and he hit the roof and he hit the sides, and I'm surprised he didn't end up in the front seat. But after that he like landed sitting up straight, and he was like, oh my god, like, is everyone okay? And Jasmine, his cousin, she was on her phone, and she said she was on her phone and she looked up to us hitting a bumper. And then his grandpa, he like seen it. So I don't know how his perspective was, because I didn't really talk to him about it. But yeah, we're all okay. His grandpa needs plastic surgery on his elbow. The car is totaled. And yeah, so When the firefighter, because this happened like right by a fire station, so they probably like heard the crash. But when the ambulance and everything got there, one of the guys asked me, and he was like, "You're wearing your seatbelt, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, obviously, because I can get in trouble if I say I wasn't." And he was like, "Do you want to know what would have happened if you weren't wearing your seatbelt?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "You would have gotten ejected and died." And I wanted to laugh in his face so bad and just be like, "Ha, joke's on you. I'm still here. I wasn't wearing my seatbelt." But I didn't, and I was like, "Wow, thank God I'm alive. Thank God I had my seatbelt on," you know. So yeah, that happened. So now every time I get in a car, I have anxiety, and it's hard for me to breathe. I've been really like paranoid recently. That's why you probably like keep seeing me like look around and like not really at the camera. Because I'm like really paranoid that like, I don't know, maybe like I hit my head and like I'm just thinking like how I used to when I was a kid. But I feel like scared. Like all the lights in my house are on right now. Except for my living room, because like my window is like right there, and it's like a big window, so you can like, there's like light seeping through it, so it's not like dark or anything. Other than that, you know, that was my story time of what happened a few days ago. Like I said earlier, I'm going to the hospital later to get checked out. Yeah, so, and my ears keep popping, so that's nice. Anyways, well, hi, I'm back. I'm gonna be making more videos, and posting them, and maybe I won't delete them, like I did with all my other ones. So, yeah. Well, subscribe, comment. If you have any questions, comment down below. I'll answer them. Turn the bell on, or whatever you do. But, you know, stay cool. Yeah, I really have nothing else to say. Anyways, peace out.